Hello again. Today's topic is compound interest. We are going to learn about compound interest and we will solve a couple of questions. But beforehand, we need to have a closely look at what's the difference between simple interest and compound interest. There are two types of interest, either simple interest or compound interest. In simple interest, you remember the formula. We calculate the amount of interest is equal to principal time, rate time, the time period divided by 100. And in simple interest, whatever the P is, the amount of interest doesn't change by time. Therefore, when we draw the graph, the correlation between time and interest, the amount of interest, it doesn't change. Therefore, the graph is a straight line. However, in compound interest, it is different. Every year in compound interest, you find a different amount of, you earn a different amount of interest. It's not the same like simple interest. The formula that we calculate, we use in compound interest is A is equal to P times 1 plus R over 100 to the power of N. What is A? A is the new value. It is different than the simple interest. In simple interest, we calculate directly the interest, the amount of interest. But here, we calculate when you invest in the bank, P kina, it becomes after some years A kina. This is not the interest. This is how much the money you invested become to. So say that you invested 2,000 kina, it becomes 3,000 kina. So A is the 3,000 kina. R is the P is the amount that you invested, R is the rate, and N is the number of times that you receive interest. It's very important because students make a lot of mistake here. They think that N is the time. N is not the time. N is the number of times that you receive interest. The important thing is here, R and N must be the same unit. If R is yearly, N has to be in terms of year. If R is monthly, then you will calculate how many times you receive interest in terms of month. So, what about the graph of compound interest? The graph of compound interest is, by the time, it's going to be an exponential graph. Why? Because the amount of interest changes by the time. Every year, you receive more interest than the previous year. Therefore, it is a not straight line, but exponential line. Now, let's look at the examples here. The first example is calculate the value of the investment if 14,000 kina. Okay, we give a break here. I forgot to take calculator. I will get my calculator. Just wait there for a while. Yes, here we go. Calculate the value of investment. Now, the first thing is, when you see value of investment, the value of investment is a very important phrase. That means they are asking you to find A. If 14,000 kina compounded, A annually, B semi-annually, C monthly, D weekly, E daily, for 4 years at 9.65% per annum. It means that you are investing your money, 14,000 kina, say that in a bank or in a financial institution, and you receive compound interest, compounded for 4 years at 9.65% per annum. Okay, let's calculate the value of A according to annually. If you have an interest compounded annually, so A is equal to, what is P here? 14,000 kina. 14,000 times 1 plus. What is your R? R is 9.65%. Because your interest is compounded annually. So we just keep the same rate here, divided by 100 to the power of, in 4 years, how many times interest you will receive? Since the question is annually, means that you receive interest at the end of the year. For 4 years, you will receive interest for 4 times. So what is A here? A will be equal to, let's calculate it directly, 14,000 times 1 plus 9.65 divided by 100, close the bracket, to the power of 4. So it becomes, your money will become 20,237.77 kina. So when you invest 14,000 compounded annually, after 4 years, your money will become in your bank account 20,237.77 kina. So that is the new amount in your account after 4 years. What happens if it is compounded semi-annually? What is semi-annually? Semi-annually means every 6 months. So how do we calculate A? A will be equal to 14,000. Your P is 14,000. 1 plus. Now, this is very important. Your rate will be different. Why? Because it is compounded semi-annually, which means that you receive interest twice a year, every 6 months. So it means that what will be my rate every 6 months? Then 9.65 is your annual rate divided by 2. That will give you every 6 months the interest rate. How many times you will receive interest in 4 years? Since I receive interest twice a year, every 6 months means twice a year. So it means that I will receive interest 4 times 2, altogether 8 times. So the answer will be 14,000 times, okay, let's just calculate it directly. We don't write anything there. Okay, here we go. So A will be equal to, we just type everything we see to our calculator, 14,000, open the bracket, 1 plus 9.65% divided by 2 divided by 100, close the bracket, to the power of, what is that, 8. So it becomes 20,410.19 kina. So if you invest 14,000 in a bank for 4 years, compounded semi-annually, that's the amount will be in your account after 4 years. So let's look at number C now. This time it is compounded monthly. So then A is equal to, P is 14,000, compounded monthly, 1 plus. What is my monthly rate? It's going to be 9.65 divided by 12 over 100. This is your year rate divided by 12, give you monthly rate. So how many times interest you will receive in 4 years? In 1 year, since it is compounded monthly, it means that every month you will receive interest. How many months are there in 4 years? 4 times 12. So the new amount will be, let's calculate, 14,000. Open the bracket, 1 plus 9.65 divided by 12 divided by 100, close the bracket, to the power of 4 times 12 is 48. So that makes your money will grow to 56342 kina. So that is the new amount will be in your account after 4 years, if it is compounded monthly. All right, next, if it is compounded weekly, then 14,000 1 plus, what is your weekly rate? 9.65 is annual rate divided by 52, because there are 52 weeks, divided by 100. In 4 years, how many weeks are there? 4 times 52. So this is your weekly rate, and this is how many times you receive interest in 4 years. Since you receive interest every week, then in 4 years, 4 times 52. So what is the amount of A here, the new value of the investment? So let's type that, 14,000, open the bracket, 1 plus 9.65 divided by 52 divided by 100, close the bracket, to the power of, open the bracket, 4 times 52 and close the bracket. So the result will be, here 20,587. What kind of 8 is that? Let's erase this 8. Let's write the proper 8 there. 587.82 kina. So if you invest 14,000